A few days ago, I was sitting on my couch, drinking an iced coffee, and I was thinking, what habits did I do to make myself more attractive? I thought for a minute, and I realized that I needed to stop my current bad habits in order to make room for good ones. Instead of playing video games for 10 hours, I should at least work out for 2. Instead of binge watching TV shows at night, I should develop a sleep schedule so I have more energy throughout the day and I don't have big bags under my eyes. So here are the 3 bad habits that are making you less attractive, and what can you do to replace them? The first habit is that you don't take care of your health. When I was in middle school and high school, I didn't take care of my health at all. All I did was binge watch shows, play video games, and eat junk food. I was part of the basketball team and the track team, so I would go to those practices, but that was it. I only did the bare minimum, and I would only lift when I feel like it. I looked chubby, scrawny, and bloated. I didn't have any showable muscle, which hurts my confidence. When I look and act unconfident, that's unattractive. Women do not want men who can't take care of their health. So, halfway through high school, I started to watch self-improvement content, and I started implementing things that I learned. I slept longer. I went to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I didn't procrastinate my work. When I started doing all these habits, I felt more confident in myself, which meant I started to act more confident. I started to talk to more people. I started to look at people in their eyes. Of course, I was and still am imperfect, but here I am today. I am way stronger now, and I've been successful in attracting women in college. I currently have a girlfriend who said, if I didn't take care of myself, or if I looked like I didn't take care of myself, then she probably wouldn't have dated me. That means I had to be in shape, eat healthy foods, sleep enough, have good hygiene, and to not look sleep deprived. So when I have all these things together, it looks like I have control of everything in my life. Why? Well, when you're chubby, or you're scrawny, or you lack muscle, people will take you less seriously. How can someone trust you if you can't even take care of your health? If you smell bad or you haven't shaved your face, that looks like you are disorganized in your life. Maybe you don't have the proper hygiene, or your life is just too chaotic where you neglect your own hygiene. Even with being sleep deprived and having bags under your eyes, you look exhausted, like you've been fapping all night. And from experience, when you're sleep deprived, your quality of work decreases. So when you try to talk to that attractive woman, it's hard to speak properly and you start to stutter. So take care of your health, do cardio, work out, sleep more than 7 hours, eat healthy, pick up a sport, and take care of your hygiene. Alright, the second bad habit is that you watch porn. Women know when you've been watching porn and touching your little pee-pee. You look sluggish, nervous, and you avoid eye contact with other people. You look at women with all this lust, and all of your thoughts are sexualized. Honestly, women don't want a man who is a slave to his sexual desires, who can't control his own urges. I already made a video about this, but I can reiterate again. When I was a degenerate, or Jimmy for example, he couldn't control his own sexual desires. All of his energy and tension every single day was to fulfill that desire, which means that he was neglecting his friends, his priorities, his responsibilities, and he was inhibiting his ability to talk to women. And while Jimmy was fulfilling this desire, he felt unmotivated in his life, and he wasn't pursuing anything great. Jimmy wouldn't take the lead on anything, and he would stutter with his words. So, what can Jimmy do to stop fapping and watching porn? Unfollow social media models and get sexualized content out of your feed. Jimmy should also be going outside more and hanging out with his friends. With all this pent-up energy, Jimmy should exert it by exercising or working a part-time job or a full-time job, so when he goes back home, he doesn't have the desire to fap or watch porn because he's tired and all he wants to do is eat and go to sleep. Jimmy should have an accountability partner where he pays him $50 or $100 every time he faps or watches porn. Once Jimmy implements these steps, he would stop hypersexualizing women, increasing his confidence in talking to them. And women will start to see his focus too. He's stronger, he's more energetic, and he's more focused in the present. And Jimmy looks at these women in their eyes instead of at their body. The last bad habit is that you keep taking the most comfortable route. From my experience, taking the most comfortable option is part of being lazy and watching lustful content. It feels good to watch it, which is why you indulge in it. Same thing with working out. You don't want to work out because it hurts. It's uncomfortable. All of your bad habits come from taking the comfortable option just because it feels good. In the past, I would do all these degenerate things, but also recently, I would take the most comfortable option by not making my channel a self-improvement channel. Back then, I was making track content and I was afraid to give advice because I didn't feel credible enough, nor did I want to be judged by my peers, by my friends or family, because they may think my content is cringe. Back in the day as Jimmy, I would take the most comfortable option by fapping or watching porn instead of talking to that attractive woman because I was afraid of being rejected. A concept I started practicing to overcome this comfortable desire was delayed gratification. I started small in high school. Instead of watching shows every single night, I only watched shows once I finished my homework. I wouldn't use social media in the morning, and I would keep my phone out of my room. Same with doing my work. I would keep it out of my room, so when I'm sitting at my desk, I wouldn't see the notifications or have the desire to pick up my phone to check if I have anything there. Even with food, I would intermittent fast until 12 or 1 p.m. just because when I woke up at 6, I wasn't hungry and I just went straight to training and I went to lift. Of course, this was during the summer when you don't have obligated classes or things like that. But when school started, I still wouldn't eat breakfast. Instead of eating dessert when I feel like it, I would at least eat it once or twice a week after dinner. Even with starting self-improvement, it was uncomfortable. I watched all this content and I had to start applying or else I wouldn't be learning anything. Back then, I was antisocial and I didn't know how to talk to anybody. So when I worked at this new restaurant, I had to learn how to talk to people. I had to learn how to take their orders, which means I had to learn how to talk to new people and give them good service. And when I evaluate myself, I knew I had a tendency to speak faster or stutter or be unclear with my words, which means I had to practice doing the opposite. Speak slower, pronounce my words better, and try to not stutter. Even for these videos, if you look back, my speaking skills have probably, hopefully increased throughout the years. I've been looking at my videos, I'm like, I should slow down at this point. I should make this point more clear. It's okay to have more silence because this is not an entertainment video. It's more of an informational video, which the information content in it is more important than the visuals itself, like hyper B-rolls, video effects, things like that. To make the video more valuable, I had to make sure my audio and my speaking abilities was clear enough so you guys can hear it, but also it has more value because of the things I say in it. And with school, I had many presentations in public, which was uncomfortable, but also helped me practice these speaking skills. You have to learn how to be uncomfortable and practicing delayed gratification. While in college, I remember walking into the dining hall, getting my food. It was probably eggs and bacon and potatoes. And I picked it up and I went to go find a seat. And while I was doing that, I passed by a kid, I guess my age or a little younger, was like probably 18, of course, because this is college. And this dude had 6 donuts and a bowl full of ice cream at 11 a.m. Let me tell you, no woman is going to be attracted to a man who eats like a kid. And when I sit down and think about it, I'm like, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to be that kid who eats donuts and lots of sugary things for breakfast. That's a clear sign that he can't control his own impulses. Even with some men today who are older than me, they would like to play games, smoke weed every single day. And guess what? Women aren't attracted to that, or at least the high quality women aren't attracted to that. They love to see a guy who is trying to build something great, trying to provide for the family, and of course, provide for her. Take care of your health, bro. Stop watching all this lustful content and start choosing the most uncomfortable option. Once you start your journey on self-improvement, you'll start to see women attracted to you without you realizing it. Now, if you want more content like this, click subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out last week's video right here. Remember to go improve it.